Hello, guys. My name is Sidwell Tabiso Malta, and I'll be having a conversation with an old colleague of mine, Amile Ndlovu. You'll start to show on the video just now. Now he's still sorting out his connectivity. But aim of this video is conversations with mining engineers, and as we start to touch base with different mining engineers who went into different fields outside mining engineering in the mines itself. And so we'll be having an open, unedited, uncut conversation with Amile, and let's see how the conversation goes. Amile, welcome.
Hi, thank you for it. Thank you. Thank you for the proper introduction. I never thought I would be called a mining engineer.
Which is actually the other thing. Our other colleagues that we would have went to school with, I don't think they consider us as mining engineers anymore, because
I don't think so too.
Yeah.
We probably the weak guys who ran into consulting.
Yeah, they're the weak guys who ran into consulting. Yeah. But I actually don't see myself that way. I actually still consider myself an engineer, and I always try to bring forth the engineering training that that I got from school in whatever circumstance and that I'm faced with.
Yeah, and I think you raise an important point there. We tend to forget that going through university is not just about knowing what's in the book. It's not about learning calculus. It's the thinking process. And that's and you can't teach. You can teach it, but you can't just have that just built into you without that structure that a degree like engineering does. Our brains are wired differently. Engineer's brain is wired differently. If you go through that experience, you are wired differently.
You're wired.
You might not see it, you might not know it. But in Delo's pattern, you solve problems. It's a special thing to listen to an engineer talk about something else that's not related to engineering, but the process stays the same. I just think, yeah.
I think let's kickstart the conversation where you have touched on. You're speaking of this training that makes you think differently as an engineer. But I think there is also a socialization that goes on when we're in university. Firstly, because of the choice of degree that we've chosen mining engineering. So I think there is an inherent expectation that you must stay in the field and practice in the field. So it's kind of strange, if not difficult, to think of yourself as someone practicing somewhere different, whereas you trained in this field. So I think maybe let's kickstart the conversation. Where are you right now, Kajeni? Where are you based? What sort of work do you do? And maybe just introduce yourself in that regard to give a bit of context, to what we're speaking about.
Okay. So yeah, I'm a Wits alumni. Born and bred Witsy, from the best, what do they call us? Engineering school? Are we the best faculty? What are we? Of everything.
We're just the best, Marco.
The best at everything. If you come from Wits, you have that mindset. You're the best at everything you do. So I'm an alumni there. I was born in KZN, moved out to Joburg to study at Wits. Spent 4 years there doing this degree.
Lucky you.
Lucky me. Record time.
Took some of us 5 years.
It's fine. Good deal. That's the end goal. And then afterwards, after my degree, I sat and I knew that mining wasn't something that I was passionate about. And if I'm to be honest, I'm still yet to find into that I can say I'm truly passionate about this thing. And to me, it's not a negative thing. I'm still trying to find myself in the world. And I still consider myself someone who's young. I'm 25, which I'm old. There's 25-year-old billionaires out there. I'm not there yet, but I still consider myself as someone who's working and growing. So I still haven't found my passion yet. And And you can imagine if I haven't found it now, imagine where I was when I left university. It was like, the only base that I had was, okay, Bafo, do you want to be a Malaysian? Do you want to go underground? Is that who you want to be? Do you want to go through the hierarchies? Because I feel like once you start the mining journey, it almost traps you in unless you let go. And the reason it does do that is because you end up knowing just mining. We have Wixin, Yahamba, Shay Square, Yapum. And it's difficult because the rewards of just doing that are high. You get a lot of financial benefit for doing something that you might feel is just Yangena Yapum type of thing. And then you compare yourself relative to other people in other industries, and you're just like, you know what, this is where I want to be. I'm killing it. Okay. So I didn't want that to be me or Mintos Ongena, Shy Square Pum.
Okay.
So at least I had that base, which I do not want to do that.
Yeah.
So then the next question.
To put a disclaimer here, Kacheni, right? To say, the opinions that we give in this video are our own personal preferences, right?
Yes. Yes, that's definitely true.
And I think we still mean not disrespect to, our colleagues who might have chosen. Yeah. I think the conversation here is meant to encourage people who intend to deviate, from the traditional mining engineering route.
Yes, and it's definitely true. And don't get me wrong, I'm not looking at mining as something that's negative.
Yeah.
It was just not for me. Every industry has something bad about it. It's not perfect. But once you leave university, that's what you figure out. So in university creates this artificial environment for us, because every person that you meet is smart, is intelligent, is motivated, wants to do things.
Yes.
They're eager to learn. Once you out of university and you live life, you start to meet different people.
Okay.
Different people shaped by different realities. So those people end up in spaces. They shape those spaces, and what you'll find is that you're in mining, and you meet a negative person. All of a sudden, your mining path becomes a negative thing. You'll find that in other industries as well. I'm not saying mining is a bad thing. It was just not something I wanted to do. I wasn't passionate about.
Fair enough.
But I know people are passionate about this thing. Engineering is a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing. What mining engineers have been able to do in this country is exceptional. Yeah. It's really, we are top class at what we do. Our opinion matters on a global stage.
Yeah.
When it comes to mining, so it's definitely an industry that I think if you're in, it can be very rewarding for you. It just was not. Amira wasn't built to fit in that environment.
So maybe to hone you in a bit, what decision did you take then? Which direction did you go down?
Yes, so I graduated, and then I was like, okay, damn, you got an expensive piece of paper. Where to now?
Okay.
So I applied everywhere. Best believe I applied everywhere. I even applied to mining houses because I didn't know exactly what the future held for me.
Yes.
So the position that I took was actually in financial services. So I left university and I moved down to Cape Town. The offer was in Cape Town. I spent just under a year.
Okay.
At this place. I absolutely hated it. To be honest, I hated it with a passion.
Which is because I think let's pause a bit here, Kajani, because you're saying you were now certain that you are not going to go into mining. And you're finding your first job in corporate in the financial services.
It's hectic. And the challenges I was facing were quite a lot. So I always considered myself as someone who was able to be away from home. I told myself, you didn't study at UKZN, you went all the way to Johannesburg, and you survived. Yes. I felt the jump from there to Cape Town would be almost similar, but it's a different world down here. It's truly different. So I felt the first challenge I was facing is the stereotypical young black educated person finding himself in a corporate environment in Cape Town.
Okay.
So that's the first hurdle I had to overcome. Is
what are some of those challenges?
Hey, you know what, man? I don't want to specifically talk about those challenges.
Okay.
I want to talk about the mindset of the challenges that a person might face.
Okay.
The first thing is your own insecurities when you step up and you're in corporate, because you walk into an environment and you find yourself, especially for me, who came from Wits. So Wits is largely African. You walk in there, you can see I'm in Africa. There's 11 official languages, and then you go into Cape Town. People are casually, and that was something foreign. It was something foreign.
For the first time, you feel the unfamiliarity of the space.
Exactly.
Not only from a geographic point of view, but from an experience point of view.
Exactly. And you're surrounded by people who are white. And me and I didn't think it was going to be such a big jump, because I went to a school called Hawitai, former Model C. So I had no issues with that. For me, it wasn't, I didn't have that cultural or a lack of understanding gap, because I've been shaped by the new South Africa. So I didn't think it would be a problem.
Yeah.
But when you step into that environment, you can feel it's something I can't describe. You feel you are not good enough, and if you do think you're good enough, you feel that you overprove. You have to do more than what's needed. You feel like you're someone else, and I think that for me was the biggest challenge.
Not to undermine the experiences that we go through, Gajeni, in corporate SA today, ne? But I'm touching a very important point, which my mentor always stresses to me, which is most of the mental oppression that happens when you step into corporate SA, right, is exactly that. It's mental oppression. Before anyone else exerts that sort of prejudice towards you, you have exerted it towards yourself.
Exactly.
And I think we must raise that, because there is a lot of work that you need to do on yourself for you to begin to excel and see yourself as an equal, with an equal opinion, with an equal intellect in corporate SA, right? But
exactly.
That's not where we are today. I'm interested in the trade today, and
yes. So now I'm in this environment. Already I'm doubting myself, and then I find out that corporate is not as glamorous as it seems. It's a place of mirrors. And you see what you want to see. Lumchita, who's wearing a suit and tie, who looks absolutely amazing, is facing a mountain of challenges, and he most likely hates what he does. And that was me. So I don't want to say it was a lucky thing, but the company that I was working for, the department that I was in was not making money, so they dissolved it. So how it worked was, I was part of an academy, and the academy was overarched by the main company. So the academy stood on its own, but it was a branch of the main company. So they decided to dissolve the academy, and boom, how old was I then? Like 20, 21, I was retrenched, imagine. So I was retrenched in my first job in Cape Town.
In the financial
in the financial space, which I thought I wanted that.
Yeah.
So what I did, I was like, okay, I need to reevaluate. I don't want to be philosophical and say I need to define myself, but I needed to almost place myself in a better environment and grow from it. So what I did was, luckily enough, because I was retrenched, I had a retrenchment package. So I took the retrenchment package. I took that offer. I was like, okay, I don't want to be part of this anymore. Let me let go. There's no need to fight. There's no need for me to try and apply for a different position. Let me let go. Took the retrenchment package.
Brave.
Very brave, eh? But yeah, it was what it was at the time. So I took retrenchment package, and then I said, okay. Luckily enough, when I got retrenched, it was during tax period.
Okay.
So you needed to submit tax returns. So I was like, okay, cool. I have a retrenchment package. Let me go file tax returns. Let me get that. I forgot how much they paid me. I think it was like 2,000 Rand back from SARS.
Yeah.
And then, yes. And then, so I lost my job. So I went to UIF. UIF, I don't have a job. And then UIF compensates you because you pay UIF, unemployment fund. I don't know what the I is for.
Yeah. How much is the compensation if that is not too personal?
So EUIF works on how much you've contributed over the years. So they do a calculation to say you've worked 1 year, so we think you've contributed this much. We think we should give you this much. So we had worked 1 year. I think I got paid, was it 3,000 or 2,000 over 3 months?
Okay.
You know, so per month. So you get paid per month. So they give you 3 months to find a job, basically.
Okay.
So I took that. So now I had this lump sum. So what I did was I immediately, so when I got retrenched, I went to landlord, listen, I don't have a job. So I'm submitting my 2 months notice. And then I'm going to pay those 2 months up front. Right? So that was me to buffer up, to give myself a gap, to be away from home, because home slows us down. For me,
you say that
home slows me down. When I'm at home, I'm comfortable.
You're not the first person I hear saying that. Can you touch on that a bit? Because my vision will be like, I've lost my job. I'm upping here. Why should I pay 2 months of a job that I'm not guaranteed of? I'm upping. I'm going home. Yeah. I'll see when I get home. But you chose otherwise because you're making the argument that it was going to slow you down.
Yeah. It's someone say, I don't know where I heard this now, which was very true. This guy was just like, you need to be cognizant as a youth of the opportunities that are in front of you, and be very careful of the people around you, especially your parents, because your parents, because they protect you and they love you, they'll be so easy for them to be and fail to see the opportunity that is in front of you, because that opportunity is not there for them. It's your opportunity. So I felt like at home, it was going to be a case of they're on my side. They'll be like, yeah, this company was XYZ. Yeah. Let's find a job for you, you know. Whereas I needed to, for me, this is my journey. I'm going to do it myself. I will. So in those 2 months, take my old PC that I used to study with, my Celeron PC, that is as slow as anything else, and I started applying for jobs. I would wake up at 6, I'd go to the gym. So 6 to 7, I'm at the gym. 7, I'm back home, I'm refreshing, I eat breakfast, and then 8, I start. So I was basically on a full-time job, finding a job.
Okay.
And that was me. That was me.
I love that.
Yeah. So best believe, if I met 2 of your criteria, I was applying to your company. And that was not just me saying, I'll take whatever. It was just me spanning the net, seeing what is available, and seeing if I'll be able to do it. And then luckily enough...
You can say, if in an application criteria, if you just met 2, you're pushing in the application.
Yes. I don't know, maybe this is the wrong theory to have, man. I truly do not know.
Say if you're male and you have a degree, you're applying. No matter
apply, I mean. but obviously you need to be smart about that. You can't just ask for someone who's in medical, and then when you're applying and you're an engineer, you can kill people.
Yeah.
So I mean, I needed to balance it out. I mean, I truly believe, man, that my degree is not a limiter. So just because it says mining in front of it doesn't mean that is me. Okay. I truly believe that in my university study, that road, that path I took, those skills I learned are far beyond the technical field of mining. University is a life experience. Grow from it, learn from it, and that's what I took from it. I said to myself, I have a piece of paper that proves I'm smart. Give me an opportunity and I'll prove it to you. That's my thing. Yeah, well. So luckily enough, two big companies came knocking. I chose one.
Okay.
The reason I chose one over the other is the one was a very, very big company. It was in insurance, and I was just like, okay, maybe that financial part of me should go. let that go.
Okay.
And then I took a more technical role in data analytics, and that's who I am now. I'm a data analyst.
So you're a mining engineer, and you're getting two opportunities. I just want to highlight the presence of opportunities here. You're getting two opportunities. One in an insurance company, and you're a mining engineer.
Yeah.
You're not an actuary. You're not a commercial guy, but you're getting this job. What were the specs, if I may ask?
The specs of the positions.
Yeah, in the one on the insurance company.
So in a junior role, they don't really want a lot of technical ability. I don't want to minimize junior positions because they play a crucial role in development. And your expertise as a junior, best believe companies need that. Yeah. But usually a lot of companies, they want someone that they can mold and they can shape and they can teach them the right methods of doing things.
Sweet.
Yeah, well, so you just need to go out there, go with confidence, stand in front of a person or sit in front of another person and tell them your story. Like, our stories are powerful. See, I were growing in this country. I was born in 95. I'm literally born free. We need to tell our stories. People haven't heard our stories, and our stories are not being echoed in corporate world in the right way or in a way that resonates with most of us. Especially
this, I believe, Kachen, these are not stories of pity, but these are stories of resilience. These are stories of conquests. And this is how far and how much we have done to get here, and we're going to continue doing that.
Yes, and I think because we in South Africa, where the gap between rich and poor is so vast, we tend to believe that a story of someone who's poor who became a multi-billionaire is a story that is strong. Best believe it is a strong story, but your story matters too. I wasn't born in a family that was a multi-billionaire. I was not poor. I'm part of the missing middle. That's what they classify as during season 4, the missing middle. I'm sitting there, I'm in the middle. I'm not rich, I'm not poor. True. So my story matters. And you need to tell people that because people can resonate with that. How many billionaires do we have? How many billionaire kids exist? The people that you go into an interview room, there might be 1 or 2 billionaires sitting in that room, or people who are of extreme importance. But the other people around them are people who've walked the same journey as you. Tell them the story, relate with them. And that's what an interview is. It's show me if it's a maths position, show me what you was by 1 + 1 and show me your experience. The next part of it is, are you human? Can I work with you?
Thank you, Kachen. Now you're in data analytics. How is your interview in data analytics? How do you even crack it? I mean, in data analytics, you need coding, you need to understand, as mining engineers, we don't have that background. In data analytics, you're working with large sets of data, you are doing modeling for prediction purposes and for decision making. But here you're sitting in front of this board that is employing you for a data analytics role, and you don't have that experience. You don't have what we may call the right skill set. Yeah. How is the interview? Take me through that.
Hey, it was tough. All interviews are tough, especially if there's a lot, especially if you can see the people who you're competing with for that position. So you walk in, they did computer science. Here's another one who did aeronautical engineering. You're just like, what? What? I was just sitting in Booman's class. Hey, I was getting sworn at in class. I was getting told to be a strong mind. I'm sitting with brilliant minds. So that's the first step. Is people are smart out there. That's what you need to understand and accept. but doesn't mean that you're not smart. That's the first hurdle. The next hurdle is don't lie. People like to lie. Don't lie in an interview. Tell them the truth. So my truth is, here I am. I am a mining engineer who's applying for a data analyst role, right? And I don't have solid coding background. So I don't know how to code in Python, C#. I do not know how to code. But the power of an engineering degree is somewhere along the line, I've worked with data and I've worked with some sort of program, right? And if I relate that to mining engineering, that was SERPAC Whittle. Those are the two programs that we use to build models. At that time, you don't see it that way, but we were basically filling that analyst role. We were taking a piece of data, right? Putting it into a machine, analyzing it, and then producing a model and making predictions on that model, or telling someone a story of what is in the data, right? That's what we were doing. And that's what I told the people. I was like, I don't have.
Wait, Gacheni.
Talk to me.
Please, can you repeat that line for me? It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. I was not a data analyst, but I was performing the role of a data analyst in that portion. I was taking a piece of data, I was putting it into a model, a piece of software, doing stuff to it, analyzing it, shaping it, molding it, and then producing a result.
Is that Konja?
The Whittle and the SERPAC.
The most basic
right? Things.
Yes.
The most basic things we used.
Basic. And I've never thought of it that way, actually. You're right, it is data modeling.
That's what we're doing. It is. And if I relate that to what I do now, I follow the same process. Maybe it's more complex because now I'm not just getting a data set that is nice, rows and columns. I might have to apply some coding into it. I need to transform that data to work with it. I need to make the data look the way that I want it to be. But the same principle applies. So usually what we do, we will receive a client's data. We will shape that data, analyze that data, and then put that in what is called a dashboard. Right? Dashboard is where we visualize the model or we visualize the data for them. But SERPAC Whittle, if you take SERPAC now and you put it in front of you, there's nothing there. What do you see? You just see a dashboard. You just see a user interface. That's all you see. Start plugging data into that thing.
And that was your truth.
That's my truth.
Powerful.
And you see, my truth got me in. I'm happy. I am a happy person.
Oh yeah. You're working in one of the biggest consulting firms in the country.
Yes. Yeah, what an opportunity! What an experience it's been thus far. It's truly incredible what you can get yourself in if you just think just a little bit outside the box. You know what? Screw the box. There's no box. Just think. Just think. Apply yourself. Just apply yourself. And best believe it'll work for you. Go up into the opportunities out there are incredible. So luckily enough for me, when I joined the data analytics team now, it was being built in Cape Town. They're still looking to build that capacity, become bigger. So the opportunities that are here for me now are truly exceptional. I'm sitting at a level, working at my title says one thing, if it's a specific level, but the work that we're delivering is high quality and it's work that usually is done by someone who's more senior than me. So
Can I ask you a question here? This meeting will end in 10 minutes. The meeting holds, we'll be done in 10 minutes. It's okay.
Yeah.
Two quick questions for you, Gacheni. Is the problem of frustration and not liking the job, has it been solved yet now where you are? Do you enjoy what you do?
I love it. I think where I am right now, I'm at the cusp of technology. and to me, that excites me. Even when I was in mining, that's what excited me. So, for example, Uludak's course, it excited me. Optimization, it excited me.
And look at that, we did optimization with Uludak, man.
Imagine, and I'm doing that now. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, that type of stuff excites me. I'm looking forward to the future. I want to be part of the future. I refuse to be left behind. I truly believe that the AMA 2000s, the ones that we always make fun of, who are behind us, they can grow up and be smarter than us. For me, it's a matter of I need to be on my toes. That's why I'm continuously improving. That's why I'm continuously training. I haven't stopped training. I'm still learning how to code. I'm still learning how to build virtual machines. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm building virtual machines. I'm using CMD. You know when you open up your computer and you get a black screen with weird stuff you don't know? I know what that does now. It's crazy. And to me, that is the future. It's cloud computing. That's the stuff we do. And to not only just read about it, but to actually become part of it, to see how it works in the world is truly exceptional. And that's my excitement part.
Kachen, that I need from you before we run out of this Zoom meeting limitations. One, what type of clientele do you work with? Are you working with one type of clientele in one specific industry, or do you have a diversity of clientele that you service? And secondly, there's someone who's going to watch this video and they're wondering, guys, how do I prepare myself to enter into such a world? Or someone who is in industry and they've spent a year or two and they're like, I think I want to switch. As a parting shot, after that, I close this meeting. I have no further comment, but to say that. Those two things can change. Right. As a parting shot, what have you got to say to me about that?
If you're in industry, you want to get involved in this, it's very simple. Internet is a powerful tool. Some person created the internet and made it free. Use that. And use that to build yourself. There are so many courses out there.
Any practical? I want us to be a bit practical here so that it's useful.
Practical.
They can literally watch this video and go to this particular site, and
So there's Udemy. So I've used a thing called Udemy. There's A Cloud Guru. There's edX. There's I forgot.
Actually, Freeland. I'm starting on Freeland now. I'm doing big data analytics on Freeland. So I think that's one that you can check as well.
There we go. So Udemy is a nice one. You just 100 Rand, you get a full course that's probably 10 hours. And just play around with these things. It's so crucial because the thing is, the data analytics world is so vast. I don't know everything there. So pick one thing, see what is out there, grow from it. So the journey that I took, I started off coding in SQL and SAS. Okay. Those are the two query languages I learned. They were a good start. They're the easy languages to learn because it's almost like a conversational type language. If I'm taking data from a certain table, the code would be select from the table's name. Okay. So maybe you can start there.
Okay.
And then you can build onto that and then start to add functions in there. So for example, how do I substring? Substring is when you take a specific character out of another character. For example, if I wanted, if my name was spelled wrong in the data set and it was Amile 1, and I wanted to remove 1, I would have to do a substring.
Okay.
So you can start to add those functions in there and then you can become better.
So those are the platforms. They are available. They can check them out.
They can check them out.
For the guy who is in university, maybe?
Even better in university because these resources are most likely free for someone who's a student. There's so many free things out there. Use the free stuff. So because I left that world and I wasn't thinking I was going to be in data analytics when I was there. I can't really speak to the students. But what I can say is use the online material. It's crazy. There's so much you can do and so much you can learn. Just start with and also invest in yourself. So you can use the free stuff, which is cool, but take 100 Rand, buy a course on Udemy that is free. That it's on Udemy. Just buy a course, and you start to invest in yourself as well, and learn. So if you pay for it, you're most likely going to watch the whole thing, and you're going to most likely want to know what's happening.
True.
So if I wanted to try and learn how to code and just sit there and type away.
Yeah. Actually, don't even started learning how to code. Started understanding data analytics as a field.
Yeah.
Courses that
exactly.
Data mining, process mining,
yeah.
Whatever else is there, so that you spark interest. By the time you get to the technical, you're already interested.
Yeah.
Enablers of the concepts that you're falling in love with.
Yeah. No, I agree. So you can start reading books. Start not even books, because I'm not a big book reader. LinkedIn, follow people who are data analysts, data scientists. See what the people are posting. It takes 10 minutes of your time to read someone's opinion, right? And you click the link of that article, and then you click another link, and you click another link. Boom! Best believe now you're interested. Now this is something you've been following.
Even IBM Academy has got free courses.
IBM, exactly. This like, I don't want to be like, okay, go to this course, because there's so much. I mean, I can only tell you what I've gone through, and I've gone through Udemy, I've gone through edX, which the company provides for us. I've gone through LinkedIn Learning. So those are platforms that are around me, but there's truly so much. If you are willing to spend the time to dig and look, you'll find what you're looking for. Aye, no problem.
Thanks for the time.
And just maybe just one closing word is, if you are a student, you're an engineer, you don't know what's happening in the world, reach out to people who have been there. LinkedIn is a powerful tool, and I don't know who said this, but it was just like, LinkedIn is so powerful when we minimize the power of LinkedIn, because everyone who's on LinkedIn is someone who's sort of professional, who's looking to connect with people. Don't be scared. Just press the connect button, and then someone will connect with you, and then send you a message. Sorry?
What's your LinkedIn name?
It's I have no idea. But if you type Ambilen Grove, you'll find me. You'll find me.
We had lost contact, and we actually first connected on LinkedIn. Exactly. It's a powerful tool. Connect with people out there. Talk to them. Ask them questions. That's what I do. So.
On me, and for them that's unfortunate. Skaba Hermes on the mic with the rest of I gotta make sure everything's alright. I'm gonna start to so close.